now it's time again for the 1-800-FUNK-SAUCE.com show. We'll interview some guests and they'll tell us what they know. It's the 1-800-FUNK-SAUCE.com show with Funky Frank and the Red Hots and your host Joel Soul. It's the 1-800-FUNK-SAUCE.com show. Oh yeah. .com. Oh yeah. Hit him with that funky sauce.
Thank you. Thanks for coming out. Welcome to the second episode of the 1-800-FUNK-SAUCE.com show. Yeah, we've got a great show lined up for you tonight. We're going to be talking to Val Kilmer. Yeah, he's amazing. We couldn't be more excited to be talking to Val. And then we got musical guest, local psychedelic rock group Pleasures will be playing one of their songs for us tonight. Yeah, like I said, it's going to be a great show. One time I was staying in Dallas for a couple days to see a concert. So I got an Airbnb. It was like $40 a night. And I show up at this place. And the guy was like, "Oh, whoa, I didn't expect to see you until Friday." And I was like, "Yeah, it is Friday." And so he was like, "All right," and he ran into the master bedroom and got the sheets and he threw them into the washer machine. He's like, "Sorry about that. They'll be ready in a few minutes and make yourself comfortable in the meantime." So I set my stuff down and within like 5 minutes, he's like, "Hey, you're cool, right?" I was like, "Yeah, I've been told that I'm pretty cool." He's like, "But like, you get high, right?" And I was like, "Well, yeah." So he pulls out this enormous bag of weed and this package of rolling papers, and he hands it to me. He's like, "Yeah, just, sorry about the sheets not being ready. Just make yourself at home, roll them and smoke them, I was like, all right, this was unexpected, but pretty cool. He was in the middle of baking some pot brownies, and he asked if I wanted one. I said, yeah, of course. So, we both got pretty high and then went our separate ways for the night. And it wasn't until I started trying to go to sleep that I heard there was a comical assortment of random sounds, it seemed like. Like every once in a while there'd be like some chiming sound, and then there would be like this sort of ding dong type sound, or like a tiny little melody that would play for 30 seconds or so. It just random. It seemed like there was just random sounds coming from, the next room over or something like that. It was all night long. So, I slept pretty well after a day of travel, despite all these strange sounds. But I was kind of curious to find out what the sounds were. And I wake up the next morning and I go out to go for another walk, and I see in the main living room the dude is asleep in the reclining chair without a shirt on. And I also noticed for the first time that this room is just covered in clocks. There's clocks all over all the walls in this room, and they're all these different kind of artsy, fancy clocks that clearly at the hour mark are making, these distinct chimes or, noises. And, I realized that obviously none of the clocks were set to be at the right time. And so all through time and all through every hour, every 3 or 4 minutes, a different one of these clocks would make its hourly chime thing. And as I'm realizing this, I'm walking out the door, just like kind of just overwhelmed by the number of clocks that this guy had set up, in this house that was an Airbnb, And as I'm walking out the door, he says, "Hey, what time is it?" And it's like at 10:15 in the morning. He's like, "Oh, okay." He says, "How'd you sleep? Was the room all right?" I said, "It was great. I slept great." He's like, "I hope the clocks didn't bother you." And I just sort of, I didn't want to open up that Pandora's box and start asking about why it was like that. And I just sort of said, "No, the clocks are fine." And he went on for a little while about how, he just likes them. And I didn't, it wasn't my place to ask him at the time, if he thought about setting them to the right time. But I guess if you just like to hear the clocks go, then you wouldn't want to hear them all at once. But anyway, that's my story about how I stepped into the domain of some kind of time wizard. But yeah, that guy, he had more clocks than your average neighborhood put together and didn't ever seem to know what time or day it was when I spoke to him. I had to recommend it 5 stars. 5 stars.
Dude, sit down. We have guests.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah. All right. I'll get over there. All right. Let's bring out Val Kilmer.
No can do, boss.
What?
You talked about clocks for so long, he had to go on to his next appointment. Val, he's a busy dude.
Val Kilmer.
We can't talk to Val this week. I lost track of time.
Val Kilmer.
Frank, you are funky as hell, but sometimes I wonder if there's any brains in that meat tube of yours.
Oh, dude. There are definitely brains in hot dogs.
That's disgusting and probably true. And now we're gonna get sued by Big Meat. Anyway, we're running out of time, so let's hear from psych rock legends Pleasures. This is their new song, LA 1000, which will be on their 2021 album. That's our show for tonight. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll check back with you next week. Thanks to our guest Pleasures. And thanks to Val Kilmer, who we'll hopefully connect with real soon.